guys, it's Levi Gates and welcome to DETALKS. With me, Mr. Dylan Von Kleist of Rupes. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you for having me, sir.
I'm so excited for this, and we got a special treat for you guys.
Yeah, this is
This
new.
is brand new stuff.
Brand new stuff. It's literally just now starting to hit the streets. Like, distributors have it, it's now getting out into people's hands, and we're pretty excited about it.
You get to see it here on DETALKS.
Well,
Very fun.
And it kind of made sense. It's microfiber pads, and
We're
you guys do something with microfiber,
little
don't you?
bit, just a little bit.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I don't need to educate you on what microfiber is exactly.
But
right?
we can educate our people because that's what they like to see. So microfiber pads.
Microfiber pads. Microfiber pads are not a new thing for the detailing industry, right? They've been around for a little while now. Relatively short period if you think about it, but they kind of become commonplace. Everybody uses them. The main reasons you're going to use a microfiber pad, for those who don't know, is increased cutting power.
Right.
But it's going to outcut, and it does that because
it'll outcut wool.
Outcut wool, it'll outcut most anything, and it finishes pretty well, depending on the paint. You can have some haze-prone paints that won't finish down very cleanly with microfiber. But it does this through basically surface area. There's, microfibers, little tiny fibers, and there's tons of them jammed into this pad. Increasing surface area increases friction, increases the ability for these to cut, which is a pretty incredible thing, because in the other use is a towel. It's a soft and delicate thing. It doesn't cut anything, right? So really interesting technology. It also is really effective at what it does because microfiber, as you know, it grabs and holds onto things, right? It's not an absorbent material, literally just clings onto things. So when you cover these microfiber pads with abrasive, you have something that's holding onto that abrasive and it's whipping it around on the surface, as at a microscopic level. So it holds it. What we've done is we've had microfiber pads for a while. Everybody would recognize them as the blue and the yellow, and they were good pads, but we've upped at another level. Our product development guys, Jason Rose and everybody, came up and really kind of stepped their game up on these. So we maintained the cutting and the finishing, so a coarse and a fine.
And the blue and yellow, it's got blue and yellow writing on it.
Yeah, the faces are white now, so we printed the sides so that we have now this designation on the side. Number of reasons for that. The microfiber's performance was best when it was an undyed microfiber, white. So we went with that route. So, and also we have to print these sides because you can kind of see the difference on here, but if you were trying to figure out which one was which, you wouldn't know. So print it on the side. But what we've done is increased fiber density. We've tuned the strands for very specific purposes, and they cut like the cutting one, the coarse, cuts really, really well, finishes extremely clean, better, cuts more than the original version, finishes cleaner than the original version, and the fine, same thing. In its category, it's going to cut more and finish cleaner than the previous generation. And the best part of all is they come in the exact same price as the previous ones.
Hey, even better.
Better stuff for the same price is always extremely positive.
Well, and like you said, this was a brainchild of Jason Rose. This is one of the things that if he was given carte blanche to create the ultimate microfiber pad. Yep, and
you turn a guy like Jason Rose loose on a development project, there's things that happen I can't even describe. It's magical, but he is a mad genius when it comes to this kind of stuff, and pretty impressed with what he was able to do here. The other part about our pads, and this was true of the previous generation as well, but carries through to these, is we do a one part, it's like a co-bonded material. There's no glue in these pads, and with a lot of microfiber pads on the market, and pads in general, you have the loop material, the velour on the back is glued to a foam or some kind of substrate, and the microfiber is glued on the front. These are all made in one pressed piece where the urethane that's the substrate here actually is molded to both, so it's part of it. So these are extremely durable.
So you won't have any delamination issues.
Yeah, and that's generally where because you're generating a lot of heat with microfiber, and when you warm up glue tends to fail. So what we've done is just eliminate the glue. So there's not a failure point when you generate heat. And there's really not a way, I mean, you can adjust technique around heat generation with microfiber pads, but you're always going to generate more heat than you would with an equivalent foam pad, for example. So you've got to come up with ways to counteract that, and we do that with this one-piece construction, which is really cool.
That's awesome. I love these little things. I think I'm so excited to play with them and try them and use them. And then the design feature, the cuts are not only for cooling, but for
it's primarily, it's aesthetics. It looks cool. It's a patented design, but also it is a cooling feature to the pads. So, again, counteract that heat generation that you get with microfiber pads. The one thing I always want people to understand with microfiber pads is that they are, and you'll hear this in other videos, and anybody who talks about these, is that a clean microfiber pad performs best. But as we mentioned earlier, it grabs and holds on to things, including
it's hard to release all that stuff.
Including paint residue, right? So the ideal way to clean a pad is as often as you physically can stand to do it. I mean, every pass, if you can manage to get your head around the idea of stopping and cleaning every pass, great. at least as frequently as you can stomach. Compressed air being the best way, because that's going to blow the particulate out and release a whole lot of stuff. But because we know a lot of shops don't have compressors that can run
a tornado
gun and all that stuff, we were releasing this little guy here,
which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, so the claw pad tool here is pretty cool. So it gives you this end here, which is basically for dislodging the pads from the backing plate, but then it also has the brush end. So you got a kind of a multi-tool
brush that you can,
and a nice little belt holster. But at least that way, it's not as good as compressed air. That's always going to be the ideal scenario.
Especially on microfiber.
Especially on microfiber. But if you don't, at least you can use the brush, and that's a half measure at least to get you somewhat cleaner.
And you can use the brush on the foam.
Foam, microfiber, yeah, any of the tools, you leave it on the tool and brush it out without the tool running, or turn the tool on and let the tool do the work for you and just hold the brush stationary. But get that residue out and get the pad back to its optimal performing, status, I should say.
Yeah.
And remove that residue, because if the longer you let that build up, the worse your performance is going to be. You're going to get irregular cut, or you might run into hazing issues, or any number of things. So it's just better to clean them as frequently as you can.
Right. And they come in the 3, 5, and 6?
Yep, so we'll do, because we're a European country, man, we got to do the metric system. This is very, very painful for most, but yeah, so for the 21 millimeter tool, you'd be using the 170 millimeter pads. For the 15 and the Duetto, you'd be using these guys here, which is the 150 millimeter, and then you got the 100 millimeter, which is for the mini, the pneumatic or the electric down there, which is, you've got to have that size. It's like we've talked about, having that multi-tool setup where you've got a big tool and a small tool to be more effective. It's great if you've got these sizes, but if you don't have that small size, you're kind of in a bad way.
Yeah, well, and the guys that have never stepped down to a smaller machine, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
Having it for the availability and some of those lines, because in reality, if you're running just 21, you're not going to get that cut in some of those spots, because you're not getting the whole use of the tool.
Yeah, you can't effectively get it. You can edge with that pad a little bit, but you're never going to get equal pressure. I mean, this is flexible for a reason, so it can contour to things, but it also loses pressure behind it when it's just being used on its edge. So you've got to be able to use a small tool to get those compact.
If you've got a body line that you can actually fit this in, you're getting full rotation, full correction out of that spot, rather than using half of a pad.
Exactly.
So another reason to get a couple different sizes of machines.
Exactly.
So I'm excited about these. I'm excited to play with them, get them on the surface of some paint, see how they do. So hopefully stay tuned for more. And we're going to put a little close-up of these guys between the two, so you can see those up close and personal. And man, Dylan, I'm excited.
Hey,
this is so fun.
We're having a lot of fun.
I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you want to check out more about this stuff, go to rupes.com. Check it out. Check out the Facebook page. Check out Dylan on there on Instagram. Follow him.
Follow me.
Add him. And you want to, watch some more of this series with Rupes, stay tuned right here on the Rag Company YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.